Stop the violence. Use your talents, y'all. Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talents, y'all. Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talents, y'all. Another brother.
Thank you for tuning in to the Stop the Violence TV show. We are live in West Hollywood, and I am your host, Jornado, aka G Abrams. And today is a profound day. Over 13 years ago, we started an organization, Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents, in North Florida. When I lost someone that was dear to me and my family, it was my brother, was an artist, and also he was a business partner and a great friend. So I ventured out from coast to coast for the last few years with a message of stop the violence and use your talents. And we have been able to do pre-produced shows on public access TV in Florida, Kentucky, Atlanta, Miami, as well as West Hollywood. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in over the years. But in this season, we're doing our live shows where we'll be bringing in guests from all walks of life that are using their talents, people that are being constructive to our community, that are an asset to our community. I love to uplift and be positive. Of course, in our day and age, there's always looking down, talking about the negative, or we just see what's going on that's destructive to our society. However, I'm a young man that's being useful, never giving in, and I have stopped the violence and I'm using my talents. And I started with myself, and I hope that each and every day as we continue to prosper in the things that we're doing, that we're able to reach others out there and that they turn their life around and be a great role model citizen and a person that has tapped into their talents or mentoring someone that's helping them to grow in their talents. So again, my name is Jornado. You can call me G, and I'll be with you every Thursday at 5:30 to 6 for the Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents TV show, or STV TV. You can always check us online, but as we get into the show, we'll also be doing public service announcements. These are some pre-produced commercials, PSAs that I call public service announcements again, that I produce with the intent and heart to capture the individual that's seeing them through the years of all the things that have been going on, where if it's violent and murder or just violence in just general with women or with kids or whatever it may be, I'm showing how you can use your talents and how you can overcome. So I appreciate everyone's support again, and I want you to get ready to check out some of these public service announcements and sit back and relax and enjoy the show, and we'll be right back with you shortly. Hey, stop the violence, use your talents. We'll be right back.
Use your talent.
One of the most beautiful things in life is to be able to spend time with your loved ones. I lost a brother due to violence. Working as a musician, using his talent. Stop the violence and use your talent.
Use your talents, y'all.
Let this be your anthem.
Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence.
Stop!
We shall overcome.
Young people, stop the violence.
La juventud es nuestro futuro.
Stop the violence and help kids around your school.
Get involved and stand up for yourself.
Don't be ashamed, don't hide it, let it out.
Use your talents, please.
For something that is created and that you have been blessed with.
Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Why me?
Why me?
Why me? Why me?
Why me? Why me? Why shoot me?
Stop the violence. Use your talents. Respect is what respect does.
It doesn't matter how many times you fall, it's how you get up that counts.
Build up the people around you.
No unnecessary violence. One person make a difference, and one person can be you.
Stop the violence.
From all of the years with Stop the Violence TV show, we've been able to capture young adults and youth's attention. And as we're in West Hollywood, we are still reaching our peers. And as we reach our peers, we are showing and leading by example how to use your talents. I'm an artist, entrepreneur. I sing, I rap, can even dance a little bit, like draw. But whatever your talents is, you gotta use them. And as you use them, other individuals will see that light. And as they see that light, then they grow and it helps others. So in the public service announcements, those are some of the things that I was able to bring others in and let them expose their talents. That platform of success is what helped them to overcome a struggle in their life and not be a victim of violence. So in today's show, I brought over one of my fellow friends and peers. He is an expert in all types of things. He's been in the White House. There's a lot that I'm going to learn today, as well as you. And as we bring him on, I want you to know I was out using my talents again, and that's how I ran into him. So without further ado, I want to welcome Steven Tingus. How are you today?
Fine, how are you?
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to and being with me today. Because when I say tune in, I'm not just saying with tuning in to TV. We met and we tuned in, meaning on a frequency level,
right,
to wherein you knew that I was someone that was being useful and that I was using my talents and myself, because I lead by example now. And I just want to say again, thank you for coming. And how has it been? I mean,
It's been quite enlightening here in Hollywood. Basically, I'm advocating for inclusion of people with disabilities in the entertainment industry. And I was quite taken by your approach to violence.
yes.
And there's a lot of similarities between the African American community and the disability community,
Yes.
with regard to violence across the board. So I'm very humbled to be with you today.
Yes, and thank you. Now, as all the shows that we've done, I ask 3 basic questions throughout the show. In each and every show, I ask the same question. It doesn't matter if you're politic, if you're just a regular person in life using your talents, if you're famous. the 3 basic questions that I always ask, and I'm going to start with the first one.
Okay.
And that is, how are your talents affecting the youth of today?
I think, as you had said, I live by example. Life is way too short, and the important thing is to share your experience and the steps that I've taken so that anybody with challenges can say, hey, if he can do it, so can I.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter whether you're black or white, Asian, Hispanic. People are people,
Yes.
and you have to treat the person first.
Exactly.
And if they can learn by my approach and my accomplishments, regardless of my challenge,
Right.
then they're going to be far better off for the future.
Now, when I say affecting the youth of today, now, you've affected me because I'm younger, I'm sure, and I've been enlightened because just on the surface, I look, I said, wow, this guy he's a disabled person, but and I don't know how that happened. If it was, you were born that way from birth, but you progressed to the White House.
Right.
What did you do there?
I had disability for the whole country. So everything from education to employment to healthcare.
Wow.
I was in charge.
So you were an expert.
I'm an expert, yeah.
On policy.
On policy.
So
for 8 years.
For 8 years in the White House.
Prior to that, I was the head of policy for the governor of California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's quite an example, and that's something that does affect our youth of today, because I'm sure you were able to mentor, and you still are mentoring the youth out there.
Mainly teenagers.
Yes.
Yes, I find that group a lot more open-minded than people our age.
Now you are also a spokesperson for the disabled community.
Yes.
And there are some different other organizations that you are a part of.
Yes.
Of things that you are all also a light to other individuals. Can you expound on those a little bit?
Well, when I served the president and before, I was very active with the National Organization on Disability.
Yes.
Now I'm with Respect Ability USA.org, and we actually did a study on violence based on race and disability, and the numbers are very, very similar for both communities.
Really?
Yes. Incarceration rate, violence by law enforcement, because basically law enforcement, good or bad, isn't educated enough on how to handle people with hidden disabilities.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Now
that's key.
health.
That's key. You said a hidden disability.
Hidden, yes. It's a big, as you know, with the recent race issues, a number of incidents have involved people with PSDT, autism, Asperger's syndrome, and ADHD.
And this may be the cause, I'm pretty sure, as you're saying, you're an expert on this,
right?
Of why we have this interaction within the communities.
Yes.
And there's one thing, I mean, and I'm gonna keep it real, because a lot of times when we see it on television, it's in the hood, it's in the ghetto, it's in urban America. But a lot of times these individuals that you're saying, they have a disability about it.
I think it's a overgeneralization that it's in the hood. I think there's a lot of both communities are equally affected. However, because of the race issues,
Yes.
unfortunately, still in our country, people with disabilities that are inappropriately put away
Yes.
is an issue.
Yes.
And no disrespect to the number of killings and all that's going on.
Right.
But we need, as peers, to understand that there needs to be unification between the African American community, the disability community,
Yes.
and other underrepresented communities that are, unfortunately, targets.
Yes. And that's key. I mean, those communities are our target, and we have to do our job to make sure that, again, we're leading by example, and we are the salt of the earth, so therefore we can create change.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that I commend you on, and one of the reasons why we're friends today is because I know that you are using your talents, and I know that you're affecting the youth because you affect me in a positive way.
Right.
So I want to know, like, is there some type of other programs that you have that you work with the youth, if they're disabled or not?
I
even
basically serve as an advisor, a consultant on an as-needed basis. If I see something in the community, I'll reach out
Yes.
to help them. And I think with regard to stop the violence, we need to do a better job as adults
Yes.
to sit back before we do something that only adds to the problem rather than taking a more, I would say intellectually, but I think a more constructive approach
Yes.
to solve the problem.
That's true. That's true. And that sounds something like what my parents always, stated to, me and my oldest brother. And that's why, he, as I stated, he was an artist and he was using his talents. He was like 80% done with his album.
Right.
And then he was kidnapped, he was tortured, and he was murdered. And as I was working on his project, we were in the community. Our family was always in the community, helping the youth. Where my dad was a coach, helping the kids with TimeWarner football.
Right.
And that's something that we both came up with.
Right.
So
me too.
it was instilled in us.
Right.
So it was not hard for me to pick up that torch and follow on and to continue the legacy of being a responsible adult and someone out there that's helping the community versus tearing it down, because there's so many of us because we get into that trap, but it can turn around, and I know that it can. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to continue on the subject of Stop the Violence. Of course, this is Stop the Violence TV show, but we have I like to keep the public service announcements going, and hopefully if you could pick up the phone and maybe call someone and say, hey, turn on channel 36 or turn on whichever channel that you're looking at. If you're looking at TimeWarner right now, tune in to the Stop the Violence Use Your Talents TV show. Tell someone else about it. We'll be right back. Check out these PSAs again.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
I lost a brother due to violence. Working as a musician, using his talent. Stop the violence and use your talent.
Use your talent, yo.
Let this be an anthem.
Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Stop!
We shall overcome.
Young people, stop the violence.
La juventud es nuestro futuro.
Stop the violence and help kids around your school.
Get involved and stand up for yourself.
Don't be ashamed, don't hide it. Let it out.
Use your talents, please.
For something that is created and that you will be blessed with.
Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Why me?
Why me?
Why me? Why me?
Why me? Why me? Why shoot me?
Stop the violence.
Use your talents. Respect is what respect does.
It doesn't matter how many times you fall, it's how you get up that counts.
So again, we're sitting here with my good friend Steven Tingus. He's an expert on policy. He's expert on disability. He's worked in the White House for 8 years. He's worked for the governor, and he has a lot of different programs and things that he has been involved with helping our society to be better. Because just because he is disabled doesn't mean that he has not used his talents and been a very, very instrumental piece in our society. So I have one more question I always ask, well, two more really, and I'm going to ask you two and two. That is, have you experienced an act of violence in your life? If so,
I have. In 1982,
yes,
I was in my sophomore year of college.
Yes.
Living at home, obviously.
Wow.
I'm from Davis.
Okay.
So it's one of the UC campuses. It's a small town. Back then, as you know, we used to leave the windows open at night because at 108 degrees, it gets pretty hot.
Yes.
So we were asleep, and my brother, who was in high school, was out. He came home and found that we were in the process of being home invasion robbed.
Wow.
I was on my respirator, my ventilator, in bed. My mother and father were in bed, and they totally stripped the house, all the top shelves.
While you were there sleeping?
While we were there.
Did they even know, did they know you were there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They even came.
Did they come in your room?
In my room.
Oh.
And one thing to tell your viewers, never put anything valuable in the top drawers of your dresser.
Yes. Well, that's the first place they always look, and under the bed, right?
Yes, and top drawers make less noise than bottom drawers.
Yes.
So please do that.
Yes. Yes.
But unfortunately, I was more fearful than my parents.
Yes. Going through that, what kind of encouraging words? Now, I hope the audience did pick up and say, don't leave anything in your talk. Don't do that.
Right.
But what kind of encouraging words can you give to others out there that, that just want to do something and just need that willpower?
Right. Well, again, I'm not a victim of any physical violence. That, as a former head of mental health research, I can only say that you need to really recover and then be proactive to help other people with either being a victim or preventing becoming a victim.
That's true.
And that's what I continue to do for my peers with disabilities.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Build up the people around you.
No unnecessary violence. One person make a difference, and one person can be you.
Stop the violence.
Appreciate you for stopping by, and we'll post it up on YouTube and on our social media pages, and you can always log on and share, like, comment, in any platform it is. And again, man, I appreciate you for
Thank
talking
you.
through. Yes.
Thanks.
And we're going to continue to learn. So, hey, we'll check out a quick PSA. We'll be right back. I'm going to do a sneak peek for next week. I got a special guest that's going to be with us also.
Stop the violence. Use your talent.
Support.
Stop the violence, use your talents.
Use your talent.
Keep it moving.
Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talents, yo. Stop the violence. Use your talent. Stop the violence. Use your talents, yo. Stop the violence.